This week marks the start of the Boston Asian American Film Festival. The 4-day virtual event kicks off on Wednesday, October 20th, and will showcase dozens of stories selected in order to empower Asian Americans through film. And with us now, we have the festival's founding director, Susan Chin-Sin, and Andrew Leong, who worked on the festival's opening night film, A Tale of Three Chinatowns. Welcome to you both. So, Susan, this is the festival's 12th year, right? Talk about what you've been doing, how it's going. You know, we've got the pandemic. How's it all working out? What are some of the silver linings to streaming as a result of it being virtual?
No, yeah, definitely. I think streaming ability has been a lifesaver in getting us through the pandemic. Our ability to be all virtual this year has ensured our ability to keep all of our staff and volunteers safe, but also our audiences in a way that feels most comfortable. I think, you know, for the Asian American community, we've been feeling sort of this double pandemic of not only just the virus, but also of anti-Asian hate, as you know, as Lee had mentioned in the prior segment. And that sort of has been an opportunity for us to still be able to connect with our community and bring people together.
And I would imagine that in some ways you've had a chance to expand the viewership because it's virtual.
Yes, very much so. I've actually noticed, as a parent of young children, noticed a lot more of my friends actually being able to participate.
They didn't have to get babysitters.
Yeah, right. You don't have to worry about parking in Boston or Cambridge. We were actually also able to go further out geographically and encompass more of New England and even different parts of the country as well. So
Susan, you know, it seems obvious, but I'd like you to state it in your words. Why is it important to showcase Asian American experiences in a movie format?
You know, I think like any art form, the more inclusive you can be, sort of helps to expand and grow who's included in that circle. For film, for myself personally, it was a way for me to feel included in sort of culture, really recognizing experiences and things that I had experienced, helped me feel included in a community that I didn't necessarily think I was a part of growing up. I think also for the opportunity to be able to share stories to a wider audience who may not have an opportunity to know someone from the Asian American community or be a part of it, to have a greater understanding and to be able to make those connections. So really it's all about the connections within the community and sort of outside and with the community.
And seeing yourself on film, on a big screen, or streaming in a movie validates.
So much so. Yeah. That was a huge part of, I think, especially as a young person growing up, hearing language, cultural practices, you know, considerations like people mentioned recently. There's a Marvel film out where there's a scene someone's taking their shoes off, like about going into enter a house, and how significant just that one flashes, and it just means so much. Like, you know, it doesn't change the script or anything. It doesn't change if people can connect with it,
but it's acknowledgement.
Yes, it's like you are seen and
yeah. Okay, so the opening night film is called A Tale of Three Chinatowns. Let's check out a preview.
I grew up on Hudson Street. It was really like a village with kind of rural values. Everybody's father worked similar jobs. Everybody's mother sewed. To me, it was the paradise.
This was the beginning of our journey to meet the American dream.
But Chinatown itself isn't just simply because the Chinese chose to live there. It's also a process of racial segregation.
That looks very interesting. Andrew, you're a professor at UMass Boston, and your expertise is in law, justice, and equality pertaining to disenfranchised communities, and you also served as a primary advisor on the film. So tell us how you got involved with the producers.
I had just finished a national report on 3 other Chinatowns about the struggles that these Chinatowns were experiencing on gentrification, like most minority communities nowadays. And so that particular report was about Philadelphia, New York, and Boston. And so the producers got wind of that from all the various different interviews that I was doing. And they said, hey, you know, could you tell us a little bit, why these particular Chinatowns? And so we, for the documentary, we chose DC, Boston, and Chicago for different reasons. And DC because it's really what I call a Disney-fied Chinatown that's kind of dead, unfortunately. And in Boston, where we're struggling, right, we're still there, and Chicago, where it was actually thriving and growing. And so we get to see kind of different stages of growth and decline for each of the Chinatown.
So why is the gentrification of these 3 Chinatown neighborhoods profiled in the film important to outsiders and also members of the Asian American community? What story are you telling through this film?
We're telling a story much more from a historical perspective and from a much more intimate perspective of some of these former residents. We have a lot of clips, a lot of interviews, and that's what makes this film, this documentary, so passionate, because you're hearing directly the voices of these people that live there, that love their community, their neighborhood, that sense of community that you cannot be divorced from and separated from, even though you're outside of it, right? But again, from a historical basis, a lot of people don't understand the formation of Chinatowns, that it came out of racism, it came out of anti-Asian violence that is, again, with us today. In fact, Robert C. Weaver, the first secretary of HUD, the first black cabinet secretary, he wrote a book in 1948 called The Negro Ghetto. But in that book, Robert C. Weaver said Chinatown is the first ghetto. And a lot of people in the country don't know that, right? We don't see Chinatowns. We see it as a tourist destination, right? But we don't hear the residential side, how it is formed, out of segregation. And in fact, he said that it was because of the West Coast San Francisco Chinatown experiment, the successful experiment by white policymakers, that we are now able to figure out how to deal with the Great Migration of the black folks, right, for the rest of the country. And so now we have, a lot of ghettos that we associate, with black communities, right? But we forget about the Asian American part.
Andrew, we're almost out of time, but what do you see for the future of Boston's Chinatown?
We're struggling. We're fighting because, we have an influx of all these high-rise luxury condos, right?
And it's getting squeezed by development on all sides.
Absolutely. And this is where city policies really need to come into place to preserve it.
All right, Susan, quickly tell us how people can attend the virtual event.
They can go online, visit artsemerson.org or BAAFF.org and find out our lineup and get tickets.
All right, Susan and Andrew, thank you for being here. Really appreciate this, and good luck on this year's film festival.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks to all of you for watching, everyone. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Cityline 5, and you can follow me on Twitter at Karen Holmes Ward. Have a great afternoon.